Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade. I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 300. Today is Sunday, December 29th, 2019, and I'm glad that you can join me today. Yeah, so I spent the week with my family, and I got some daycare grade germs, and so my voice is a little bit funny today. Well, such is life. And this will be the last episode recorded in Dallas. I know, because I'll be in San Francisco next week. Shenanigans. So, what would it be? That was the news I couldn't tell you guys because I hadn't resigned yet. Whatever. Now I have, so it's okay. And well, see, I don't even have anything with me. So, what would it be? It's been a pretty chill week. I spent a decent amount of sick. I probably didn't do as much knitting as I was expecting because it was a very long process in the morning to start feeling human again. Whatever. It was like coffee, shower, coffee, and then I might think about knitting after that. So not too crazy, but I did manage to get reunited with my yarn, which then meant that I could finish the stuffies for the nephews. So, oh right, I basically have none of the other stuff left. So, I ended up making a stubbier tail on my nephew Cameron's one because this is how much yarn I had left. I wasn't going to make the same size tail as the other one, but I did have plenty left over of the one that I made for my nephew Dominic. So, this is Undead Yarn in the spider base, and it is the DFW Fiberfest show color. So they took Heidi took the colors from the logo and made a yarn, and it turned out really cool. And this is Sun Valley Fibers. The colorway is called Rendezvous, and it is 75-25 merino nylon. And I don't think that Jeanette actually dyes this base or colors like this anymore. She's sort of gone all in on the hint of cashmere semi-solids at this point. But this was yarn that I ended up buying at my first SSK, and this was a recent Fiberfest. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but super duper in love with this one. So I may need to make an online order from Heidi because I'm liking her bases. So, and I still need to like clean out this bag. So it performed admirably in its stuffy containment role. That doesn't save me from the fact I didn't stuff the ball back in, but such is life. So, my suitcase mostly contains a bag of fiber fill, as you do. So, what ended up getting most of the knitting love was my Eva Foxy. So this is a Hui Locatelli pattern, and I think last time I did have sleeves picked up, I did finish the sleeves on this bad boy. I am doing contrasting sleeves in this sort of, I don't remember what the colorway name was actually. I'll have to look it up at some point. Maybe like ash, and I held it with the mohair silk. So this is the main part of it is actually Shibuya, and it's pebble. And then I'm holding it with the Silk Cloud, which is a mohair silk blend, and then the Pebble is a merino cashmere nylon loose weight. It's super nice. So what has me maybe a little bit worried at this point is like the sweater isn't there yet, but I feel like there's not a lot of yarn remaining either. So I wound everything because I wasn't sure how long it was going to be until I could wind yarn again, and so I have most of this ball and then 2 more balls, which I believe are untouched. Here is the gray color without the black being held with it. And then I have basically 2 full balls of this black, so I have been knitting off of this one, so it is beginning to deplete. But basically it's a little, each ball of black is a little bit more than, each ball of black is a little bit more than 2 balls of blue. So I think I'm doing okay, or would it be? Like if I'm way off, I'm gonna have to get like more black too, if that's the case. So one thing that I will probably, when I get to a good stopping point, is actually put the neck on this bad boy. I wanted to do it while I was on the trip, just to sort of get all of that finishing stuff done, but I left this here, right there, which therefore made it impossible for me to, whatever. So I did have everything I needed in order to take the needles off, but I did not have everything that I needed in order to, I didn't have another cord, basically, so I was down a cord. So I ended up knitting on this for so I finished the sleeve, I think, on the plain, and then I ended up putting this marker in to sort of prove to myself that I actually was making progress on this. There was an awful lot of Harry Potter on TV, so I think we ended up watching The Deathly Hallows Part 2 at least twice. We didn't get the first one, and I'm not sure what other ones we might miss, but there was quite a lot of Harry Potter. So I've gotten a decent way through it, but I'm fairly sure that I'm not to the recommended length. So when I knit my first boxy, I have the tape measure around here somewhere. So when I knit my first boxy, I ended up making it longer, and so that was what I ended up picking. That's what I ended up picking or whatever, basically what I decided to do for the, was to make it longer as well. But in some ways it's like a little bit awkward, so I want to do a high-low hem this time. If I could find a tape measure, that would be lovely. I don't know why it's so hard right now. That is really annoying, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it either. So, so that would be the case where I'd end up working in short rows, and then at the very end, put all the ribbing around it. This time I decided to go with the 1x1 twisted ribbing, so that's been looking very nice. So we shall see if I can manage to get enough length into this one it may be the, like, I guess I'll have to see. It may be the case for what I end up deciding to do is reserving the last ball I have of the blue to do that. I do also have an extra skein of the blue, but when I'm looking at my black, it does appear that I would be short on the black mohair silk as well if that was the case. So perhaps that wouldn't be the best plan. So we'll see how much length I can get, and once I'm down to one remaining skein, I will decide which way I want to break on that one. I'm not sure how much more 1 and a bit ends up being. So we shall see, or ask around in D-Stash's options. So it's been a very lovely project, but it's also pretty boring as well. And it's my only project right now. So, as you do. So I may need to figure out by the power of video editing whether or not I can get a photo of the finished objects I ended up making. I ended up, I think, taking pretty decent FO pictures of both of them. Not with the nephews, unfortunately. There was a decent amount of whatever chaos on Christmas Day. Like, they weren't... The nephews are young enough that, like, they were maybe slightly confused about what was going on. Oh well, such is life. So, I did end up winding a backup ball of yarn in case I needed it, and it turned out that I didn't, so it was okay. And randomly other will my sew there. So, ooh, this does even. It's very moody and gorgeous. So this may end up being another pair of grandpa socks. I haven't decided on the pattern. It's hanging out in my bag. If I start to go a little bit crazy with the knitting around and around, then I'll know what to do. But I think for the moment I'm okay with putting a good burn on this, because I've actually, now that, I don't know, I'm quickly running out of time to do all of the things, so it's possible the wise thing to do would be to figure out how to get everything packed down appropriately and reserve what I want to reserve, I guess. Who knows? What I'm going to end up doing is probably winding off the yarn I ended up making so far for the Jenny the Fleece project, and posting everything that I ended up finishing this year as a part of my Spin the Bin, and then take a new photo, because I think I have enough fiber on hand, and put that up as my 2020 Spin the Bin fiber for the year. And I may end up including this project in it as well. So, as you do. So, but, like, because otherwise, like, I don't have an awful lot on hand. I did appreciate sort of making the stakes a little lower for myself in terms of the bin. So just having, like, the minimum 2 ounces per month sort of thing. And I think that'll end up working really nicely with sort of the size of project for the Ginny spin. So as the plan stands right now, I have a flight next Saturday to go to San Francisco, and I will be able to carry tremendously more stuff if it is on an airplane instead of if it is in one of the Miatas. But as it stands today, we have no confirmation from the car shipping company that they're going to bring my cars to San Exactly. Maybe it was too good a price and it was really a scam. Wouldn't that be hilarious? So I thought I had handled it, and then my husband thought he found a cheaper place, and now I just feel like I'm in some sort of awkward, expensive nightmare. Alas. But if I need to drive a car, then I can't carry as much stuff, or it all needs to be like loose in the car. It is a much better scenario if I have my small number of things that can fit in the trunk of a Miata, and I don't need to drive 24 hours. Options. So there's a little bit of time to figure out which way that's going to break, but I know for a fact that I cannot fit my big suitcases into the Miata, so that would be a situation where I would end up putting them in storage or something like that. I don't even know. So, or I will, whatever, blow off my responsibilities and be angry about this on the 3rd, who knows. So, I did manage to get a pretty good burn on the airplane, actually, with my wild onion spin. So this is my Bosworth MIDI, and I am working on a bat made by Susan of Wild Onion. So I got this ready to spin in July. I finally started probably sometime in September as a travel project, because I was going on a ridiculous number of trips to San Francisco. And the colorway is called Limmer. It has all sorts of crazy stuff in it. So this section here seems to be much more woolly, but this like swamp green stuff does not feel the same at all. So it was like an hour 40 flight from Nashville with an additional 30 minutes of spinning while we were waiting for a gate to open up because we were delayed. But it's moving along. I only dropped it once and I was able to do the tap shoulder to tap shoulder in order to reach it when it ended up whatever. The single ended up breaking as we were landing, which was not ideal, but such is life. But I managed to get a pretty, because this used to be a really big chunk, so I think I've been alternating between bigger chunks of the bat I ended up taking off and smaller ones to sort of change up what colors and textures I end up getting, because every bit is going to end up being fairly marled and multicolored just based on the fact that it's bat. My lighting is not at a place where I can give you detail and color simultaneously. I'm not sure where I would need to put my lights in order to make that work, but whatever. So that got a pretty decent burn on it, and it will continue to be my carry-around project. So it sounds like I'm going to be going to my first California spin-in. So I may not even record next week, we'll see. I probably won't have my studio lights, but who knows. Life's a mystery sometimes. So, what I am working on now is, so what I managed to finish was I ended up finishing one of the singles for the blue teal ply of my Jenny the Fleece. So This is a lovely midnighty bluish purple color. And I managed to get at least some of the way into the teal. And then I think somewhere in the room is the bag of blue fiber. So I can definitely see a situation where I might be able to finish that bobbin in the next few days, but I probably, I guess it depends on how badly I need to contain things, as you do. Really, I need to put together like a box of stuff that has to go into the storage unit that I do not want to bring with me. So that is a thing. And testing out packing up the Miatas full of things. So, because it isn't like they can carry a lot. It's a bit of a challenge in order to put that much stuff in the trunk anyway. Like, it's hard. So, and it's also maybe a little bit hilarious because there's, like, right now everything is a little bit exploded because basically I took my closet and shoved it into my suitcase for Christmas, and now I can sort of dial that back a little bit, as you do. But really, I don't even need to have all of the stuff out because it's a short work week. I suppose it'll be nice to pack away the lights because that is definitely a fairly bulky item. But yeah, no, it's just a lot of random weirdo things that need to occur. So I do know that I can carry a certain amount of stuff. There's probably, varying amounts of things. But I just have to decide what it is I really want with me. Or what's silly to bring, like redundant things that the Nursery Level 1 already has. Because we probably don't need 2 right now. But yeah, no, I'm going to be moving into the 350 square foot studio. That's going to be cozy. Definitely a motivation for hurrying up and finishing, or hurrying up and figuring out what longer term place we want to stay in. As you do. But whatever, we'll deal with that when we get to it. It's possible that I'll be exclusively recording outside because even though it's not pretty, it's way more spacious. Like, it'll be hard to get a nice cut in that place. So, that is the big news. I'm very excited. I think many of you guys have already found out on Instagram because it's good news to share. It's very happy indeed to be able to be living with the Nursery Level 1 again. What would it be? This past week was hanging out with him while we were both sick, so oh well, such is life. So we shall see if I can manage to record next week, but I may just take a break. I may skip next week because there's a lot going on. But hopefully I can get all of that sorted out and then we'll be good to go. So with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. So take care guys. Bye bye.